Kyle, do you remember how confident everyone sounded draft night?
Is it because of the booze?
Always because of the booze.
Mm.
Folks, today we revisit the picks that age like fine wine from the 2025 NFL season, and we highlight the ones that age like gas station sushi. So grab yourself a Mai Tai and sit back because we are roasting and boasting our friends in our draft. Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Channel. Kyle, how excited are you to see the rights and wrongs from our draft last year?
I am very excited. I've tried to refrain from going back and looking at some of the draft day stuff just so I could be as surprised like a kid on Christmas Day and to give you my most authentic feelings toward it. So hold on, I gotta turn down my Bad Bunny soundtrack over here. Just listen to some.
Big fan of his now, huh?
Oh yeah. But I was reminded before the show we were talking about the Black Eyed Peas. They had
Oh,
a
yeah,
good one as well.
they did.
That was a
That
good
one,
one.
that was pumping. That was pumping.
So last night we had dinner with Tony and Colton and Tony, I know we were civil last night, but do you remember what I
Uh-oh.
did to you in the semifinals this year? That's right.
Uh-oh.
When I destroyed you 168 to 83 and punched my ticket to the Big Tuna championship game. That was a week when Genty and James Cook dropped a 55 burger on you. And I also received a whopping 50 points between my tight end, streaming the Saints defense, and my kicker. So you're welcome for doubling your score and eliminating you this year from the Big Tuna playoffs. That's right. Today we're looking back, talking about our beloved Big Tuna Fantasy Football League, which has been around for around 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody really knows it's been an ESPN for maybe 15, but it was a Yahoo League before that. We're a little bit of OGs with some of that stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is a classic 10-team, two quarterback starting league. Two running backs, two divas, one flex, one tight end, one defense, one kicker. Standard scoring. Because in this league, we leave the divas for dead.
Oh, yeah. They're always left for dead out there. You ready to go right into this? Are you strapped in?
Hold on, let me buckle up. Yeah,
Buckle on in, baby.
Let's do it.
All right, folks. As we said, we're attacking everyone. We're gonna boast a couple people, but we're going right into it. Starting off hot, there was a mistake made in the very first pick of this draft. Dustin, you're sitting there shaking your head, kicking yourself. He picked Lamar Jackson with the number one pick. What a reach and what a mistake. The first pick costed him his Super Bowl chances. And even better, it left me Josh Allen for number two, which helped increase mine. And even funnier, I would have taken Lamar had I been the number one pick
I
as
knew
well.
you would have.
And that would have screwed my season. So getting the number two pick actually helped it. Other first round losers, Kyle, I'm sorry, but Jaden Daniels, that was a mistake.
Still made it to the championship.
And even worse, Saquon Barkley, number two RB off the board and finishes RB 14. Philly, what in the hell are you doing over there? Your offensive coordinator has got to be the worst stretch of offensive coordinators I've ever seen in ever, maybe ever.
You're just saying that because you got a Philly friend over there.
Nah,
you love to throw some hate to the Philly way. I know you.
A little bit of both.
And then you try and hate on AJ Brown, and then you try to trade for him for me.
That's correct. I wasn't wrong for hating on him, though.
You're savage.
Other notables in that first was Patrick Mahomes was drafted as QB6. That's right, QB6, and he finished as QB11th. So I'm sorry, new guy Connor, but you made some mistakes there. And in this two quarterback league, folks, 6 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round. 6. Kyle, take us into round 2.
Round 2. Oh, is that just because I drafted Genty in round 2? Who did not, I mean, he finished, respectively. He mostly had like 2 30-point performances on the season. Otherwise, it was really tough sledding. And it's not Genty's fault. He is extremely talented. Got a great truck stick on that guy. But the Raiders' offense in general was bad, and we knew it was bad. We knew the offensive line was bad. I still took a shot on the talent. But
that'll teach you.
I also had depth at the position, and I was able to secure James Cook later on. So who ended up being a great RB1 for me anyway.
Yeah.
The biggest win goes to Tommy. We will give Tommy a round of applause here. Jonathan Taylor, 16th pick overall, finishes RB4, and was just a carrier, get the team on his back for most of the season, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And had Danny Dimes stayed alive, he would have been a top 3 RB. He would have finished even higher, which would have been an even more valuable pick that JT was. The biggest loss of round
I've
2.
already roasted Tony early and often
Well,
here, so it's your turn to roast Tony.
This poor guy Tony, it's gonna rain on him today, I'm afraid. And he's got the biggest loss in round 2 at Justin Jefferson, 18th overall. Didn't even finish as wide receiver 18th overall, wide receiver 21. Had you listened to us more in the offseason, you would have been aware that the QB situation sucks, and we did not like J.J. McCarthy or Justin Jefferson for this exact reason. That, my friends, is a reach. All right, round 3. I'll take the hit on this one because this was my mistake. I'll gotta give myself some shade as well. Bucky Irving, my man, I thought you were gonna help lead me to the promised land, and you did not even want to play football this year. You didn't even want to play at all. You just sat on the sidelines with your injuries. You lied to the media about how bad they were. Your shoulder injury was much worse than your team let on. That's some bad crap right there. Okay, just as bad as my pick was in the round 3 turn.
Oh, Davey, we are going to actually really praise Dave eventually. We'll get there, but not yet. Round 3, you get roasted, and it's not even your fault. Doesn't that suck, Dave? That's just about how your season turned out for you. It sucked, and it wasn't anything you can do about it. That's right, Malik Neighbors. Sorry, we're not sorry.
Nope, but that wasn't as bad as his brother Todd.
Nope. Mr. Todd Lee, Justin Fields in the 3rd. That's as bad or worse than the Rex Burkhead in the 3rd move many years ago.
Bringing that back, the Vegas draft.
I think specifically he just blacks out round 3 pretty much every year, no matter what happens.
He's a 3-round drinker. That's it, guys. You get tied for 3 rounds, and after that, he's gone.
Yep, can't handle. Some people just can't handle Vegas.
Yeah. Someone did something good in round 3 though. Our boy Ben, he got Dak Prescott at pick 29, who finished as QB6. So Butler's Kitchen Helpers had a good one in round 3, and only for him to trade away Dak for next to nothing later in the season to our boy Dave.
Yeah.
Puka cool. Ben, we're gonna toot your horn one more time here. It's
another good one.
It's surprising your team did so bad that you had some good picks in there. We'll analyze that, but. Number 1 wide receiver overall at the 4.1. Now,
and the nicest head of hair in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So it's huge.
It's crazy. It's a shame his team sucks so bad this year. He's got some good picks out there. Back-to-back, Michael's brothers going wrong again. This is why they're at the bottom of the league, folks. Ladd McConkey and Brian Thomas today. At the time, we thought was great value. And now we can see so clearly how bad those picks were. And I have both those in Dynasty, so you can imagine how bad my Dynasty season was.
I think the other Michaels player was a better manager than these two.
Kyle, are you filled with regret by drafting A.J. Brown in the 4th round? Because you should be.
I will say it was a painful start and a bit of a roller coaster all year. And fortunately, I secured Georgie Pickens real late. But A.J. Brown still finished relatively high for where I took him. But it was painful a lot of the year, right?
Yeah, I can. Want to talk about pain? I regret Brock Bowers at 4.9. That's for dang sure.
Ooh,
supposed to be the best tight end in all the land, and the dude wasn't even out there. Another injury mishap where he had his PCL worse than they let on. They put him out there too early. He was not himself, and then he had to sit forever. You got to let these guys get back to healthy before putting them out there. Come on, AT team.
A.J. Brown finished as wide receiver 14, averaged 9.5 points a game in standard scoring. Brock Bowers was a huge letdown. And, we in the offseason prepper, we were like very bearish on the Raiders offense in general. And it was like against the grain. Everybody was excited about Pete Carroll and the things that were happening there, Geno Smith. And I'm like, I wouldn't believe in this. And then we ended up drafting 2 of their stars. I don't know how we got.
Well, it is because we got him for good value, at least.
I think that's how we drafted him.
Allegedly. Brock Bowers being there at the end of the 4th. I mean, you got to do it. He should, had he been healthy, it would have been, number 1.
Yeah.
Would have been number 1 out there. But all right.
We got to give it up to McBride, though. Especially with the quarterback change.
Yep. McBride's the clear winner. All right. Some good value in the 5th round. Kyle, I got to get a tip of the cap on this one. And to you, Tommy. Tom, we haven't roasted you at all yet. You got Justin Herbert in the middle of the fifth. That was great value. And Caleb Williams, you got him in the fifth as well. That went to be a top 10 quarterback against all odds. The winner, chicken dinner. Dave redeems himself with JSN at 5.7. Finishes wide receiver number 2, only second to Puka Nacua. That is some serious value right there. 5.7 to number 2 wide receiver. Hot diggity dog. And at the 5.10, I'm so sorry, Connor, but Elvin Kamara there must have hurt the soul a little bit.
Ouch. New guy strikes again. New guy. Yeah. Shame.
We know your name. He had a tough start to the Big Tuna League, that's for sure.
Yeah. We'll start to notice a trend here with some of Dave's picks. It's like, how did you lose?
You're correcting alphabet or spelling on stuff after we've already said it. What's going on over there?
Yeah, whatever. We'll get to it. Are we on round 6 yet?
Light it up, baby. Let's go.
All right, Mr. David Michaels. Congratulations. Again, we don't know how you suck so bad. Drake May in the 6th round ended up being quarterback 2, I think. That was pretty epic. You have any thoughts on the 6th round, Adam?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for getting him on my team, Dave. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, when you traded him later on. Mm-hmm. Another one, you also got Trevor Lawrence in the 6th round, so kudos to you.
Huge steal. Top 5 QB thanks to a couple of big games right there.
Round 7.
Yep, you want it?
Take it.
Serious value at the wide receiver position, and Davante Adams joining the Rams and putting up an ungodly amount of touchdowns. It's like they got in the red zone and forgot that they could run the ball with Kyron Williams. They're like, no. We're just going to throw it up to Davante every single time, and he's going to catch it every single time. Phenomenal top 10 wide receiver performance from the old legend in Davante Adams.
All right. Also in round 7, Todd Lee strikes again. Terry McLaurin. How did that work out for you, Todd Lee? Not so hot. And then DJ Moore was also drafted in that round, who sucked this year. I was also not as afraid of him. I thought he would have a much better season, and he sucked, especially for Caleb having a good season, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's really surprising that Ben Johnson went in. He saw DJ Moore, 6'4", 230 pounds, and he said, "No, we're not going to use you this year. We're going to use our younger, skinny guys. You can just sit over there." That's what he did.
All right. Next up, he did redeem himself in round 8. Todd Lee, you did. Mr. Zay Flowers. I think you should probably send him some flowers and a thank you card for the value at your receiver position after your Scary Terry draft, because he was that for your team this year. You got anything on that round?
No, I got Zay Flowers wrong, and I will continue to get him wrong every year if he does well, because I will sell him for the rest of time, as I do all Baltimore Ravens.
Are you still going to be out on any Baltimore receiver in this year? Even without –
You know what? And I got a bold prediction for you. Where do old receivers go to die? They go to Baltimore. Who's going there next? Tyreek Hill. I bet my bottom dollar he's making his way over to Baltimore for all of a sudden a steep decline in his performance, because that's what Baltimore Ravens love to do.
Mm-hmm. The cheetah. Round 9. We're together for Mr. Urso. Well done. He nabbed Mr. Jamison Williams. Great value there. He finished very high, especially in a standard scoring league. So Colton found some really good value there. I also scooped Rashee Rice in this round, which ended up being great when he came back and played. He was like a number 1 receiver almost every week he played.
And that's such a huge point we have to make, because every year there's suspensions from some of these divas driving their cars too fast, running people over, whatever it is they're doing out there in their world. I don't know. But this is where if you can get someone suspended 4 to 6 weeks, it helps you in the Super Bowl push. And that's exactly what it did for Kyle. And obviously you do have to make sure you have enough depth pieces so that way you can make it there. But if you do, it helps a ton, because once he got him back, his team was way better.
And let's talk about that push. You know what else helped me get me there? Round 10, George Pickens. That's right. I had George Pickens and Rashee Rice in rounds 9 and 10. I also grabbed A.J. Brown earlier. I don't know why. I should have completely left him for dead and just grabbed these guys.
Yep.
Georgie P finished. He was like Diva 2 for a lot of that season. He did have a little bit of a rough finish. Question marks for him next year for sure. And then another one, Colton, I think, got some good value in round 10. Quinshon Judkins, rookie, another rookie here that ended up performing, right?
That was a big question mark because that was right after he punched his girlfriend. And we didn't know if he was ever going to see an NFL snap ever, let alone
Yeah,
play this
and
year.
we got away from him in a lot of formats for redraft. I already had drafted him for Dynasty, so I was kind of locked in.
Yeah.
Ended up working out okay on all those things, right? And that was a huge draft day value.
Yes, it was. I see you gently skipping over here another round 10 draft day value because it was
Go
mine, most
ahead. No,
likely.
I'll let you toot your own horn. You can boast yourself on this one. This was a good one.
My man, Chris Olave in the 10th. That is serious value, folks. He was a top 10 wide receiver. Everyone was worried about his concussions. Most importantly, they were worried about the quarterback play. Can this guy get him the ball? It turns out if you're that good and you get 10 to 15 targets a game, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is when you're Chris Olave. Wonderful value pick there. Dave?
Was he also a top 10? Was he also a top 10? He was. So George Pickens, Olave were both top 10 picks in the 10th round.
And Jameson Williams.
That's how you win your league.
Yep, exactly. And that's also why we sometimes leave wide receivers for dead. But all right.
In this league.
Dave, we got to continue adding to the mysteriousness of how you drafted wonderfully, yet you did not perform. You got your boy ETN in round 11. I don't know where exactly he finished, but it was top 10 or top 15.
I will tell you right now.
What the F? How did your team suck so bad?
He finished as running back 9 standard scoring.
Oof,
Dave grabbed him in the what round? 11th? 11th round. And he still sucked all season with these picks. I don't understand it.
It's hilarious. That poor guy. He's probably crying right now.
We'll say honorable mentions. You did nab J.K. Dobbins, who had a great 2/3 of the season.
Until he died.
Very flexible. I mean, he was like RB2 numbers all weekend where you grabbed him.
Until I traded him to Dave, of course, for CMC and some other pieces.
That's right. You traded him right when he stopped performing and got injured.
That is the old adage of you buy low and sell high, folks. If you got somebody that's injury prone, putting up numbers, offload him if you can. Sorry, Dave.
We'll give another shout out to Colton here, grabbing Emeka Egbuka in the 11th round, who on record it was said would be the best draft pick for the Buccaneers receiving corps this year, and it was the truth.
Yep. When Colton picked him, we did an offline draft, but in my head, the old someone stole him right.
The cues. The cues.
Yep.
Round 12, Mr. Danny Dimes, top of the list, also drafted by Colton. I don't know what happened to the rest of your team, Colton. You did make the playoffs, but these are some pretty solid picks here. Huge value. And Adam, do I see you with a Sam Darnold pick here in this round? After all the hate and shame you gave him all season about choking and all the things where he proved you wrong. Do I need to see that again? Am I reading that right?
It just goes to show, even if I believe in something, if someone's valued at a certain point and they ain't gone, I can go against my wishes and take them.
All right, that's fair. Draft day tips.
Yep. Go against the hate. Dave strikes again. Dave, my goodness. Tyler Warren, another steal in the draft late in the round. Are you kidding me? This guy should have been the number 1 team. On the contrary, hey, Ben, how did that Anthony Richardson pick turn out for you? You didn't even see a snap out there.
Yeah. Oh, God, Dave. God, Dave.
I know Dave's teams, he should be winning this year and next year with how well he did.
He should have run the table on us all regular season.
What a shame.
Oh, all right. Where are we? Round 14, Dustin drafting Russell Wilson. Dustin, I'm sorry, man. This is not 2014 anymore. You don't draft Russell Wilson. All right. I know he was a Badger. I know we enjoyed watching him and had some good memories, etc. But you got to leave him for dead on your fantasy squad. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think if Sean Payton's willing to cut him and eat $40 million, so should you.
All right. What you got next for us here, Adam?
Well, we're looking pretty good. What out of these stands out to you the most? Because for me, it has to be the JSN pick. Getting a 5.7 all the way down to the number 1 player at that position. I mean, that's just phenomenal. That is just phenomenal. That stands out to me the most. Anything stands out to you the most out there?
Dave's draft. I'm going to read to you his entire draft because this stands out the most to me. Joe Burrow, Christian McCaffrey, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. So Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, his two high draft capital divas, did hurt him huge. But listen to this value. JSN in the 5th, Drake May in the 6th. Ooh, he did have Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th. That hurt. Cortland Sutton in the 8th. He nabbed him right in front of me. Jalen Warren in the 9th. Zach Charbonnet in the 10th. Travis Etienne in the 11th. Brian Robinson Jr. in the 12th. Tyler Warren in the 13th. Jackson Dart in the 14th. He had some epic value. I suppose the Joe Burrow one also hurt him as well. But even being anchored with Christian McCaffrey and some of those picks, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, just if he didn't have Joe Burrow and Malik Neighbors in his first, 2 of 3 picks, if he gets 2 healthy guys there, I think that is a team that just demolishes the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I will also shout out Aram Radre, like some of the value he found. Like we said, J-Mo in the 9th, Quinshon Judkins in the 10th, Emeka Ibuka in the 11th, Danny Dimes in the 12th, and Tucker Kraft in the 14th.
Jesus, Kraft in the 14th. Had he not been injured, how about that?
Does that make you want macaroni and cheese right now? For some reason, I got a craving for some nice cheesy Kraft macaroni right now.
As long as it's some shapes. I can go for some shapes for sure.
Shapes? All right.
None of the originals. Last but not least, we will say Kyle and I made it to the Super Bowl in this league in which I absolutely destroyed you, Kyle. So F you on that one.
Well, here's a cheers to making it. I'll give you a congratulations. It was your first win in this league. And
thank you, sir.
It was your first win.
We'll see you next year. We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next
year.
Now
it's time for the dynasty to begin.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Football Channel. We'll start doing the homework on this offseason, getting you prepped for next year, talking rookies, talking dynasty, and then getting back into the sexy redraft. All the things fantasy football. Catch you guys in the next one.